you're confused right now, if your life doesn't look the way you thought it would, or if something ended and you don't know what's next, this video is for you. Because what feels like failure is often direction. It might not look like it at the beginning, but it actually is. What feels like loss sometimes is protection, and what feels like being lost is usually life moving you to somewhere better. So stay with me, because at the end of this video, you are going to see your situation differently. So remember, the first thing I want you to remember right now is that you're not lost, you're being redirected. Hi guys, it's Jessica, welcome to my channel. So let's get right into it. If you're watching this video, it's probably because something didn't go the way you planned. A relationship ended, a dream collapsed, or a version of your life no longer exists. And that can feel terrifying. If you've seen my other videos, you know I'm in a situation like this right now, and I know the feeling. I know that feeling like, what now? What do I do now? What do I do with my life? What is happening? I thought I had everything under control and I don't. Everything has fallen to pieces. And we do this because when something familiar disappears, your mind suddenly goes to, oh, I failed. I wasted my time. I should be further by now. I'm stuck. I'm not moving forward. What is happening? I'm doing something wrong. And this is when you have to listen carefully. And remember that nothing has gone wrong. Most people think that being lost is that you don't know where to go. But that's not really what being lost is. Staying lost could also mean staying somewhere that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. And life, let me tell you something, life is intelligent. And it will remove what no longer fits. Not to punish you, not to make your life more difficult, but to protect you. You just have to remember that some doors don't close because you're unworthy. They closed because you've outgrown the room. Remember that. You've outgrown the room. It's time for something new. And this happens because we think chaos is the most dangerous thing in life. But no. The most dangerous thing in life is comfort. Being comfortable, because comfort, what does it do? It keeps you small. You don't try new things. You're in your area. You don't want to do new things. You don't want to get out of your comfort zone. I'm comfortable here. Why am I going to be uncomfortable if I am fine where I am? Comfort keeps you quiet. And what does comfort do? It keeps you repeating the same year over and over again. So analyze your life. Has it changed in the last few years, or are you the same? Because that might mean that you are comfortable and you might need a change. And sometimes if you're not willing to make that change, don't worry, life will do it for you. Because life wants more of you, so it brings you discomfort. Suddenly things stop working, suddenly people change, suddenly you feel restless, confused, unmotivated. And that's not a breakdown, that's a signal. Because you weren't meant to stay who you are. And that's why the old version of your life can't follow where you're going. So you're not being punished for wanting more. You are being prepared for it. Now, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to, if you need to pause the video to reflect on the question, to answer it. But it's important that you answer it. You can get a piece of paper, you can write it on your phone or mentally, but answer this question. Who would you become if you stopped trying to go back to what broke you? Who would you become if you trusted that this detour has purpose? Now, I want you to answer those questions, and I want you to be sincere. And redirection doesn't always feel gentle. It just doesn't work like that. Sometimes it can feel like a loss, like rejection, or like loneliness. But keep in mind that this redirection always leads to expansion. And remember, you don't miss what aligned with you. You miss what's familiar, what's comfortable. But familiarity is not destiny. And there are versions of you that only exist on the other side of discomfort. A stronger version, a calmer version, a more self-respecting. But you cannot meet this version of yourself if you keep clinging to what no longer fits. There's this quote that I read and I think it's very powerful that says, every level of your life requires a different version of you. And that is so true, because sometimes life removes things because you're not meant to carry them forward. This could be old habits, old mindsets, old relationships, or old identities. You don't lose things because you failed. That was never the issue. You lost those things because you evolved. And those things aren't meant to come in your new journey. So I want you to stop asking to yourself, why is this happening to me right now? And I want you to start asking yourself, what is this preparing me for? Because clarity doesn't come before action. Clarity comes from movement. So when you start moving, you will start getting that clarity. You will start to see all the pieces of the puzzle getting together. And you don't need the full map right now. You don't need to know exactly what is going to happen, where you're going to end up. No, you just need the courage to take the next step. Maybe it is finding a new job, maybe it's finding new friends, new relationships, working on yourself, and from there everything will just evolve. And listen, you're allowed to grieve what you lost, what didn't work, but you are not allowed to let it define you. This is not a defining moment. And this phase that you're in right now is that in-between phase, the space where the old life has ended, but the new one hasn't fully formed yet. And that space where you're right now feels uncomfortable because it requires so much faith. But in this moment right now where you are in, is where the most transformation happens. So instead of panicking, instead of rushing, instead of like trying to force clarity, okay, I have to get my life back together right now, this has to happen. Ground yourself, trust yourself, and remember this, you're not late, you're not behind, you're exactly where growth happens. So tell yourself that, I'm not late, I'm not behind, I'm exactly where growth happens. Whenever you feel yourself spiraling out of control, stressing out about the future, what am I going to do, this, that, I'm not late, I'm not behind, I'm exactly where growth happens. Because one day you'll look back and you'll suddenly think, oh, if I didn't fall apart, I would have stayed small. If that didn't end, I would have settled. If that hadn't hurt me, I wouldn't have changed. And you'll thank this version of you, that version who stayed, who kept going, and the one who trusted the redirection. You know, when they ask you, would you change anything in your life? The answer has to be no, because all those things that happened, good or bad, took you to where you are right now. And if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be where you are right now. So it's very important that you keep trusting, keep going. Tell yourself those affirmations if you find yourself spiraling. And just remember that if things are feeling uncertain right now, that's good. That means you are no longer living on autopilot. That means you are waking up. So before you leave this video, I want you to hear this one last time. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need permission, and you don't need to rush your becoming. All you need is the courage to stop resisting the change that's already happening. And if this message resonated with you, it's not an accident. That means you are ready for more, even if you don't fully see it yet. So take a breath, stand a little taller, and trust yourself enough to keep going. So if this video helped, like it, not for the algorithm, but a reminder to yourself that you're choosing growth. And subscribe if you want to have more conversations like this. And comment down below, I trust the redirection. Because the version of you that's coming doesn't settle, doesn't change, and doesn't doubt herself the way she used to. And you're closer to that version than you think. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to talk about any other topics. I will gladly hear all your opinions, so let me know down below. Okay, I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!